How did you meet him to begin with?
He was living with a friend of mine. That's how I met him, though, was through Gabe. And we were just kind of acquaintances. I would go hang out over at Gabe's house, and he would be there, and we didn't really talk much. And then when we did start talking, it wasn't like, you know, anything like, we weren't like in romantic relationships, anything. I mean, we were just friends.
Oh, you didn't ever date him?
I never dated him. I know it's on the media that I was his ex-girlfriend, but we never dated.
Well, I didn't know.
Yeah, I actually, the whole time I knew him, I had a boyfriend for the most part, because he did ask me a lot. He had a girlfriend. He asked me all the time if I would be with him, and you know, I was like, no, I want to be with my boyfriend. John got a hold of him on Facebook and told him that we had been sleeping together and we're in love with each other, and so there was just always a lot of drama there. We have a few mutual friends, not a lot, but one of my really good friends that I talk to a lot, even up until this all happened, John was still talking to. He was telling him stuff like we were in love, we were doing really good in our relationship, we had a baby on the way. He was just really delusional, like really crazy. And ever since then, I stopped talking to him after that, and this was like 8 months ago, and it just never ended.
Were you ever with him alone before? Like you go over there and your friend wasn't home, or Gabe wasn't home and he was there?
Yeah, I've been...
Did he act strange?
He would always just try and try to ask me, try to pay me to do stuff with him. I don't know, just stuff pretty much try to beg me to do anything with him.
You said he would try to pay you?
Yeah, he would offer to pay me to give him a kiss or, you know, anything, just anything. He was devoted to making me be with him, honestly, and it just got creepy. At first,
Was he serious?
He was serious, yeah. The first thing that he ever had started with was that he offered me $500, and I was waiting for Gabe to get home, and I just was creeped out by him. And I told him that, I was like, look, I have a boyfriend, you know, you need to stop or I'm not going to speak to you. And it was he was obsessive from the moment I met him.
So he did what? He offered you $500 to do what? To perform a sex act?
Yeah.
And when you said no, how did he respond?
He just put his head down and went into his room. It was never, ever, ever aggressive. Anything he did was never aggressive. It was a lot of threats oh, if you don't, you know, be my girlfriend, I'm gonna call your dad and tell him that, you know, just something crazy. He called my dad and told him that I was pregnant with his child. He contacted my 80-year-old grandmother and told her that I was pregnant with his child.
Was there a point in there where you were scared of him?
Honestly, no. He would say threatening things, but I blocked his number. I made my Facebook private. I made everything. And when he would get through to me, he would go online and make a number so he could text me, textnow.com or whatever. Just saying stuff I forgive you for everything you've done, for having a boyfriend. I forgive you, I love you, I want to be with you.
So you didn't get a restraining order?
I never did, no.
Did you ever talk to the police?
And I didn't. A lot of times it was just text, or he would call my family, trying to get my family to get me to talk to him.
Why did you not get a restraining order?
I didn't get the restraining order because I felt when I looked it up, it said it had to be kind of domestic, and it kind of seemed like a lot you had to go through for court. I really wish I would have, but I feel whether I did or didn't, what happened still would have happened.
When was the first time he mentioned Natalee Holloway to you?
It was probably 2 months after, 3 months after I met him that I heard about the Holloway case. And I was just kind of creeped out by him after that and wanted to stay away from him.
How did he know this Van der Sloot? How did he know him?
He used to live in Aruba. His aunt owns a home there. He used to run her real estate company.
I was always infatuated with the Holloway case. You know, I said, that Van der Sloot guy seems like a cool dude. I'd love to be his friend, you know. I'd seen interviews with him, and I genuinely thought he'd be cool. I didn't care if he killed a girl, raped a girl, what he did. That wasn't me. All I cared about is I thought he'd be a cool-ass friend, and he was. So I told my friends when I moved down there, I'm gonna meet him, and I'm gonna become his best friend.
He actually, according to him, ran into him in a gas station or a convenience store, and was oh, I'm really intrigued by what you've done, I want to be your friend.
I shook his hand. I explained I just moved here from Virginia. I don't have any friends. He said, maybe we can have a drink. Give me your number, I'll call you later. And sure enough, he did. And we spent every day together from February till May.
That's how they became friends, according to him.